number
My
2
number two.
is Longlegs. I love him. Nicolas Cage, he's a weird actor, and most of his films are kind of weird now. He's gone away from the Academy Award-winning actor, kind of trying to win Oscars, but Longlegs is, it looks like a Nicolas Cage film. Tell me about Longlegs.
Well, again, Nicolas Cage is another actor who's very similar to like Vince Vaughn and also Ryan Reynolds. If you have a strong director, do what I want you to do. As long as you get a strong director on there, you can get really great performances from Nicolas Cage. He's done some really fine films recently, Color Out of Space, Mandy being a couple of them. He did Willy's Wonderland. I mean, that he didn't have any dialogue in that movie, so he did all his acting with just the space. That's a lot harder than you think. It's not. It's not as easy as Just, well, I could have did that. No, maybe not. It's not necessarily. It's not really easy. I like the idea of someone who's discovering that they have to work with a serial killer to catch a killer. Because that's what I say. In order to catch one, you gotta know one or be one. You gotta think in their mind. That's what made Manhunter so awesome. Was the character of Will was he was able to think like a killer. That's why I was able to catch him. And I like that idea that this FBI agent has to find this killer to help her. I think it's her to help her find one. Now the evidence of the occult thing, so that has a supernatural element to it. That intrigues me as well. I think Oz Perkins will do fine as he wrote it, he directed it. I think he'll get a great performance from his cast. He's got a strong cast. He's got Alicia Witt, Maika Monroe, Blair Underwood. I mean that, and besides Nicolas Cage, that's a strong cast right there. And I think it's going to be a sleeper hit. I think it's going to be a big sleeper hit, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, July 12th coming out. Horror films. Horror films I think generally come out more in the spring and in the fall. They don't get a ton of them out in the summertime. So the fact that we have a horror film that's coming out peak summer, I think says that they have a lot of confidence in this film. So the trailer looks Nicolas Cage weird, but not too weird. And that's a fine line. That's a fine road to hoe sometimes. That's a fine line to walk. But
what's really exciting too is we see the return of Maika Monroe. Now this will be when I see this movie here. This will be the first time I've seen her since she came out in one of my very favorite horror movies ever. And It Follows. Oh, It Follows is so good.
Nice.
So
yeah,
good.
I was gonna say I know I've seen her and stuff, but nothing's coming to the top of my head off the top of my head. But good actors though, very talented actors. Also good to see Blair Underwood again. Haven't seen him in a long time. It's been a while since.
No, it's been a while since that. And Alicia Witt too. I think the last time I saw Alicia Witt was in the Friday the 13th remake. Yeah, I think she played the sister. But the rest of the cast, it looks to be young and up and comers, and it's going to be interesting. I think Nicolas Cage will be restrained. We have not heard. We have not heard of him doing crazy Nick Cage for quite a while now. I mean, even when he did Freddy's Wonderland, he wasn't. Everybody who wrote about the movie, they didn't say that he was crazy and manic or anything else. I have not read a review of any of his movies within the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, I would disagree a little bit because he was in he played himself last spring in
Massive Talent.
The Massive Talent one.
Yeah, but that was written that way.
Yeah,
that was written.
He also had done some. He did the other one where he was playing Dracula or something. There's
Renfield. Yeah, he got a lot of praise for that.
So and he was good, but he was definitely Crazy Cage in Renfield as Dracula.
But people were commenting in the positive, whereas a lot of his movies where he acted stupid like that, he was getting roasted. And the last like I said, the last 3-4 years, the movies that he's been coming out with, people have actually been praising him. I think the last Cage movie, Crazy Cage, I saw him was a medieval movie. But the last few movies I've seen him in have been really strong. I mean, have been really good. I mean, in the little areas where his character did slightly go off the ranch a little bit, worked because that's who his character was. It wasn't because he was just being Nicolas Cage. It was because that's how his character was. I mean, I played a CIA officer trying to catch a killer, and he has Alzheimer's. So he's having bouts of Alzheimer's while he's trying to catch this one rogue villain that got away. And so when he goes a little crazy, it fits. It's not just Nicolas Cage going crazy; it fits the character. I'm still a fan of Nicolas Cage. Still a fan.
I like seeing what he chooses to do too. He still has those choices as to what he can actually do with a film. So it's always fun to see what he. You know what too? I would love to see what the scripts that he rejects, because
Yeah.
as interesting as they are, I would love to see the ones that don't quite make it.